The disaster detectives. Ben burst into the town library, convinced he'd found the clue that would unlock their biggest mystery yet. Daisy, sketchbook in hand, quickly followed, eyes wide as she imagined an elaborate conspiracy lurking behind the stacks. Will strolled in last, sighing as he adjusted his glasses, already regretting joining yet another wild chase. "This time, I'm positive," Ben whispered, brandishing a dog-eared newspaper with a faint ink smudge on the corner. The smudge seemed meaningless, but Daisy gasped, nodding furiously as if it were a secret code. Will squinted at the paper, finally deducing it was nothing more than an old coffee stain. Ben waved off his doubts, insisting that this coffee stain was, in fact, the mark of the masked Mocha. Daisy's eyes sparkled as she sketched a dramatically shadowed figure holding a cup of steaming coffee. "Let's interrogate people at the coffee shop," Luna announced, her voice carrying a flair for the dramatic. They strolled into the cafe, trying to look inconspicuous but drawing every pair of eyes with their exaggerated whispers. Ben immediately zeroed in on the barista, certain she was hiding something behind her apron. "Seen anything unusual lately?" he asked, leaning over the counter with an intense gaze. The barista blinked, puzzled, and pointed to the espresso machine, which had been acting up all day. Daisy gasped and declared the machine was a victim of foul play, sketching a cartoonish broken espresso machine. Will rolled his eyes, but Luna was already spreading rumors about a secret coffee cartel. Their search for suspects led them to the town square, where Ben claimed to find a trail of evidence. The so-called evidence turned out to be spilled beans from a local grocer's cart. Luna launched into a passionate monologue about the great Bean Heist while Will held back a chuckle. Daisy envisioned a cunning thief, imagining a villain with a trench coat and a sack of beans. Just then, the local grocer spotted them snooping around his cart and gave them a confused look. "You lot lost something?" he asked, clearly amused as he watched their exaggerated sneaking. Ben, without missing a beat, asked if he'd noticed anyone acting been suspicious. The grocer chuckled, suggesting they should check the raccoons in the alley. Will started laughing, while Daisy scribbled notes on a possible raccoon connection. Ignoring Will's skepticism, the group headed to the alley, following what they imagined to be raccoon footprints. The footprints led to a tipped-over trash can, and Ben whispered, "The hideout of our prime suspect." A raccoon indeed emerged, sniffing the air before scurrying off, unaware of its newfound notoriety. Luna declared the raccoon an accomplice, and Ben nodded, now fully invested in the idea. They split up to gather more clues, with Daisy and Luna interrogating passers-by about raccoon sightings. Will, trailing behind, found himself laughing despite his doubts about the absurd investigation. Ben insisted on dusting for fingerprints at the town fountain, convinced it held a hidden message. He borrowed a powdery donut from a nearby vendor, dusting the fountain's edge with sticky crumbs. Daisy gasped when she saw a smudgy handprint, clearly Ben's own, declaring it a major breakthrough. Will tried to explain, but the others were already planning to present their findings to the police chief. The police chief listened patiently as Ben outlined his case of coffee conspiracies and raccoon accomplices. "Interesting theory," he said, struggling to keep a straight face while Ben leaned in confidently. He suggested they might start by solving the mystery of the unpaid library fines. Daisy immediately flipped her notebook to a fresh page, declaring, "This case is ours." Their investigation led them back to the library, where they inspected each shelf with exaggerated suspicion. Ben found a discarded bookmark and concluded it was a sign of hasty escape from the scene. Will held back a grin as Luna interviewed the library cat, convinced it held vital information. Daisy tried to bribe the cat with a bit of tuna, calling it negotiating with a valuable informant. The librarian overheard, chuckling as she explained the overdue books belonged to her forgetful nephew. Undeterred, Ben announced they'd uncovered the family ties involved in this intricate scheme. Their next stop was the post office, where Ben suspected mail tampering in the form of misdirected postcards. Luna dramatically declared, "Nothing is ever what it seems in the world of postage." Will stifled a laugh as Daisy illustrated a stack of postcards lost in transit. The postal clerk explained that the postcards were simply stuck behind a shelf. Ben seemed momentarily deflated but quickly decided this was part of a larger cover-up. They wrapped up their investigation by gathering at the park, piecing together their findings. Ben listed each discovered crime, from the coffee stain to the missing library book. Daisy illustrated their adventures, creating a comic-style record of their triumphs and trials. Luna swore she'd seen the masked Mocha skulking around, but Will gently corrected her, it was a jogger. They held a dramatic press conference for their friends, reciting every detail with flair. Their audience burst into laughter, and the disaster detectives became local legends. Though they hadn't solved any real crimes, their unique charm made them heroes in their own right. Their reputation grew, and soon townsfolk came to them for help with mysteries around town. Each new case, though hilariously mishandled, cemented their place in town folklore. And with every adventure, the disaster detectives found joy in the chaos they left behind.